So with the Jim and Nancy Dawn and How We Went Crown program, I'll just mute everybody. Or actually, can you guys mute yourselves? That'd be easier. What that was about was back in the old game, what happened was that Dexter, everybody thought Dexter Yager had the biggest business the world had ever seen. But in actual fact, Jim and Nancy Dornan built the biggest network. And Jim, after he went Crown, came in and spoke at one of Dexter's functions. And that's where this tape was taken from. And at this stage, Jim still had not put together the concept of Network 21. Now, Network 21 was taken from, the name came out of the fact that Jim Dornan got 21 out of his downline diamonds to pool together and work together and set up a system, right? So a pretty big group when you got 21 diamonds in it to pool from, right? And what Jim Dornan did was Jim looked at the international market when Dexter was teaching his group to stay in America, Australia, just go where they speak English. It's easier, right? What Jim Dornan did was he'd find somebody, an ethnic group, could be Mexicans, could be whatever, and he'd get 2 or 3 or 4, or he needed 3 to 4 couples to open up a country that he could work with. And he'd go in, he'd open up a country when Amway went in there, and he'd go in and do the same again. And Jim Dornan, his business from him down, because of the system that he developed, and it was similar to the Jaeger system. It was books and tapes and functions and edification, but one of the major differences was the roles that the women played. In Network 21, the women played more of an upfront role than a support role. Now, in Network 21, of the $11 billion turnover that Amway do, $8 billion of it goes through Network 21. That's some serious grunt, right? You have got a big, big business when your business is responsible for $8 billion turnover. Now, that tape covers a lot of bits and pieces. There's a lot of the how-tos on there, but there's a lot of the mindset, right? Now, we know life and networking, they're all the same. It's just a mind game. How your mind reacts to things determines the outcome of those things in your life. And Jim Dornan covers a bit of that. You've got to listen to it a few times, but it's in there. And you've got to have a pretty big reason why you would want to change the circumstances under which you currently now live. And so I would encourage everybody to have a listen to Jim and Nancy Dornan. Now, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to hear this next bit that I want to share with you. This is from a guy called Tim Foley. Tim Foley was an All-American cornerback, and he was, quite famous throughout the US. He was with the Miami Dolphins. And when Tim went to play with the Miami Dolphins, they were a team of no-names. That's the team where all the misfits and the didn't quite make it to the other teams went to the Miami Dolphins. And then Don Shula, the coach, came in and changed things a little bit. How did he change things? Well, he changed their mindset. They were still the misfits. They still had never achieved anything of any real consequence on their own. They were all the I suppose you'd call them the scraps of the football world in America. But then he turned them into a machine, and they won championship on top of championships. So let's see if we can do this. Where is it? It's there. Now.
About this. And because I think it's an important element in success in whatever you do. And it seems that everything we do in life or that happens to us, including life itself, can be divided into stages. And certainly, every challenge in life which we undertake for our enrichment or for our benefit can be divided into specific segments. And the initial segment, the first step or the beginning, always involves the desire for change and the contemplation of the reward or dividend, the personal evaluation of what can be gained, the inner projection of a positive outcome. You begin the diet and the fitness program because you imagine a new, thinner, more powerful you. You have the sincere desire for change, and it involves that physique that's currently staring you in the face. And you, like all of us, you suck in your stomach and stick out your chest and try to imagine what you will look like, as you pursue this goal and objective. And so basically, stage one is a desire for change, a sincere, deeply rooted desire for change. Now, when we try to define the location of these behavior-changing feelings or emotional yearnings, we rarely identify them as originating from the head where logic resides. We're all too well aware of the fact that oftentimes in our life, when logic and reason have ordered us to take a step, we have steadfastly refused to move an inch. We were immobilized. In the past, our fears have prevented us from overcoming inertia. Our lack of discipline has been an insurmountable impediment to our growth. Our lack of faith in our ability to succeed has imprisoned us in the parameters of business as usual. The well thought out options for a new direction for our future are slain by our own highly developed sense of unworthiness, which holds us captive in our perception of reality. Logic, the message from the head, tells us to change, escape, move on, but we do not be able to seem to respond. We stand paralyzed by our fears and doubts, concerned about what others might think. Logic alone will not move us. You won't change or take a new direction simply because you've figured out it's the best thing to do. It's not only a matter of the head. When we talk about the few brief moments in our life that have led to decisions that have been monumental or habit-changing or future-altering, extraordinary turning points in our direction, and there haven't been many for most of us, decisions that have caused us to defy reality and become something more, become something better, become something new and improved. We all tend to trace the birth of these decisions, not to our head where logic reigns, but to our heart. We identify the heart as that part of us where our deepest and most profound feelings and desires reside. It is in our heart, which in ordinary everyday life is responsible for pumping nourishment to all our vital organs and the farthest extremities of our physical body, that is also portrayed as that part of us which pumps passion and emotion into the outlying regions of our most profound decisions and convictions. It is in our heart, our soul, where that small voice speaks to each of us about what we can become. It is in our heart where that voice is in command. It is from our heart that we receive the messages that defy logic, that defy reason, that describe to us the possibilities that have been planted in our future and encourage us to fight to convert them into reality.
I think that is absolutely profound. And I've got that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put that out as just a full YouTube clip, so as you can download it and listen to it anytime you like. So you could all hear that okay, yes? Yep. Sort of. Okay. Some yes, some no. All right. Now, Tim Foley's talking about it is the passion of the heart that will override the logic. Logic says move, and we don't. And the logic says, yes, but what if I move and fall over? Or what if I get hurt? Or what if people laugh at me? It is the passion of the heart that towards our goal, towards the better life that we choose to follow. It's fueled by the passion of the heart, not the logic of mind. And so when we listen to Jim and Nancy Dornan, they had the biggest network the world had ever seen. Tim Foley was actually no slouch either. He's gone Crown twice. That means he's got 40 frontline directs in Amway. That's like having 40 people in your team who are well and truly over 2-star and directors, right? And Jim Dornan, at one of his functions, had 2,000 directs. 2,000 in his group. I mean, it's massive. It's huge. And Tim Foley's built a massive business as well. So we're listening to people who have been in the same industry that we're in, that face the same challenges that we face, that have understood that it's a mind game, how you think and how you feel. And it is your thoughts that will create your feelings. It's your feelings that will create your actions or inactions. All right. Now, I've got two. I'll try and get through both these clips. Now, Mark Drake put up a great video clip on TNC Isogenics. If anybody watched that, anybody watch that one? How to Become a Money Magnet? That was brilliant. Yep, that was really good, Mark. So thank you for that. And hopefully we'll get to it tonight. But I want to share this other one with you first, right? So let me share the screen.
I think that among the things that prevent us from acting is the fear of failure. And if you've already failed, you don't want to fail again. The pain of that, the disappointment. Many of us don't act because we want other people's approval. We want everybody to like us and to accept us. We're settling for less than what we actually deserve. We don't feel good about it, but we make it work in our minds. We'll come up with some kind of excuse to make it all right. Most people like to feel like they're a king in the area of their comfort zone. They only want to do those things that they know how to do well. So there are many reasons why we don't act. There are other things, though, that affect us. Is that not wanting to take personal responsibility. We want somebody else to do it, and that's not possible. And when you go through life like that, something in you dies. You need to start asking yourself some questions. What do I really, really, truly want? Don't wait around for things to be just right. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Don't wait for the ideal situation. It will never be ideal.
Today, this opportunity you have, it might not be here next year. It might not be here the year after next. It might not be here the year after that. This is the only moment you got.
And what you will find you decide to act, when you decide to take life on. And let me warn you, it can be painful, it will be uncomfortable, and that's where the growth is. Never be satisfied with yourself. Always know that as you invest the effort and time on you, that's the greatest ability that human beings have above animals. See, a dog can't be anything but a dog. Tree can't be anything but a tree. Human being, you've got unlimited potential. You can put effort on you, and by concentrating on you and developing you, you can transform your life wherever you are right now.
Focus on you, and you can be whatever you want to be. Right? Don't worry about other people. And the reason I'm talking about this stuff tonight, and I'm going to get into some other stuff in a minute, is we've got to understand that we see all these people doing all these amazing things, walking across stage, earning fortunes worth of income. And our mind automatically says, well, that's okay for them. But because of you don't understand my circumstances, my situation is this, I can't be one of those. I don't do this very often, but I'm going to call bullshit. Do you know what? If you want to feed that into your head and believe it because you want to give yourself that one more excuse to stay in that comfort zone, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. The rest of the world does not care. You can hide, you can run, you can do all sorts of stuff, but nothing will change the fact that right now, you and I, all of us, have in our hand the greatest business opportunity that's ever come across the event horizon to planet Earth. And it landed at your place. It landed at my place. I don't know why, it just did. It just did. And guess what? It is the thoughts that alter everything. It is the nature of the thought that alters everything. Absolutely everything. Right? Now, let's work this out. Because everybody's muted, we'll go thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay, got that? That's in agreement. That's disagreement. Got it? Good. All right. The Isagenix products are good products. Good. The compensation plan is a brilliant compensation plan. Yes. The tools that we have are more than adequate to help us build a business. Yeah. Okay. The ingredient that's missing is the passion from our heart. Right? Now, when we get the passion burning in here that we've just got to go and do this damn thing, things happen. And then our passion is on fire. Our heart's cooking. Nothing stops us. But it starts as the nature of the thought impacts your heart, the feelings change. Right? Feelings change. Now, what I want to do is, let me just drag something else up here. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'm just going to go and grab this one. And we're going to get that to there. And I'm going to get it up to here a little bit further. Okay, got to shrink that down, do this, do that. Now I'm going to share the screen again. And this is the clip, and I won't play it all, I don't think, but this is the clip that Mark sent through. And I want you to have a listen to this. This is interesting. I don't know what the picture on the screen is. Don't get mesmerized by the picture, okay? Just listen to the words.
Your financial blueprint.
Hang on.
There are inner laws and outer laws regarding money, but I will only be discussing the inner laws because the inner laws forms your financial blueprint. Let's be honest here. Our world is completely built and structured around money. In the modern society we live in, if you don't have enough money to meet your needs, life becomes extremely stressful and hectic because everything costs money. It is my belief that the lack of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money. Most marriage problems stems from the lack of money. Most stress-related illnesses stems from the lack of money. In any neighborhood, when the employment rate goes down, the crime rate goes up because people are scratching to survive. Since most people don't understand the inner or mental laws regarding prosperity, they struggle obtaining financial security. Some people have jobs, but they still feel trapped like a rat in a cage. They become 9-to-5 slaves, forced into the rat race. Wouldn't it be easier to wake up on your own time and travel the world, collecting your life experiences? Of course, money isn't the most important thing, but it's right up there with water. Money is very important, whether some people want to admit that or not. And since the financial system isn't changing anytime soon, it would be in your best interest to understand how your mind is either attracting or repelling prosperity. The one thing having an abundance of money can give you is freedom. Remember, you are a soul that has a body that came here to have a human experience. It's impossible to have a full life experience if you do not have the time and means to have those experiences. Wallace D. Wattles once said, "No man or woman can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them." I'm here to show you how your mind is a magnet that either attracts or repels the prosperity you see. Yes, I'm saying you will literally attract money by creating a prosperity consciousness. This is the exact information I used to transform my financial situation. After utilizing the knowledge that I'm presenting to you, my financial income began to soar. At the age of 25, I was able to break out of the rat race and create a multiple six-figure income for myself. Actually, I am now on my way to making my first million this year, and I'm not even 30. I'm not special, but I am determined to live the life that I know I deserve. Let's begin. If we are to build a prosperity consciousness, we have to understand the unfailing and mysterious law of attraction.
I got a sidekick with me right now. She's just come in from karate, so that's good. Hey guys, what he's talking about there is money is a mind game. And your thoughts about it, abundance or lack, will create exactly that. And that's the same as building a network. Building a network is exactly the same. You're either going to believe people are going to get in with you or not. Either way, you're right. Let me tell you a story. Right? Think about this. Corinne and I, we've set our goal. Right? We've set a goal. And it's amazing what happens when you set a goal. Sometime back earlier this year, Corinne and I did an afternoon or a day here in Gawler at a bridal expo. I think some of you might remember that. And we put a stand up there, and it, to a great degree, was a dismal failure. It just, you'd see these girls walk in. No, they didn't walk, they waddled in, and they all of a sudden they'd see this weight loss program, and amazingly they'd have to turn hard right, you know, and walk away from it. Like, it was just bizarre. But anyway, I got talking to another lady there who had a Nutrimetic stand, and her and I got along really well. And she was actually sponsored into Isagenix by a friend in New Zealand. And anyway, that was all good. Well, you wouldn't believe it. On my way over to Kalgoorlie the other week, the phone rings just out of Ceduna, and it's this Nutrimetics lady. She's got a sister living in Port Perry, and they found a Isagenix distributor over there, and they contacted them, but to sign up and get in, but that distributor didn't get back to them. And so she rang me to see if I'd go and sponsor them. Well, sure I would, right? Well, it turns out that yesterday was that day when we could work out our calendars. So Corinne and I waddled up to Port Perry and met this couple, lovely, lovely people, just really nice people. And anyway, turns out Craig wants to lose a fair bit of weight. And he was telling me one of the guys at work, he's doing Isagenix. Okay. But he didn't approach him. And the guy at work, like Craig didn't approach him, and the guy at work didn't approach Craig, although quite evidently Craig could do with losing a bit of weight. Anyway, turns out that this other lady, like Craig's partner, she knows another lady down in Adelaide who she thinks or was in Isagenix or could still be in Isagenix, but she didn't ask her either, right? And we go up there, and the lady from Port Pirie that they approached to see if she'd sponsor them, she sent them a text on Monday. Oh, do you want to get into Isagenix? You can do this and this and this and this and this. And anyway, she said, no, we're not, no, we've got it all sorted. Now, they don't particularly want to build the business just yet, but they will. Now, why is it that and her sister couldn't sponsor her because she's a manager in Nutrimetics, so she couldn't sponsor them? The people up in Port Pirie, they didn't want to sponsor them. Why was it that they were reserved for us? Well, we'd set a goal. The others didn't need them. We need them. When you set a goal, I tell you, the people will be there. They will just pop up, right? A few weeks back, or a couple of months back now, I was over in Victoria, got a phone call. I was working with Ben Gardner over there, and I got a phone call from a bloke in Warwick-Nabil. He had a problem, or he had an old hydrogen unit he wanted to try and make work again. So I called in to see him, had a chat with him. Turned out he's got a few health issues, sponsored him. And just as a parting comment, I said to him, I said, you know, there's a big quid in this stuff. This bloke's got trucks and farms and all sorts of stuff going on. He's busy. Anyway, did the hydrogen thing for him, got all that sorted, went back over there, and just built a bit of a relationship. Anyway, he rings me up. He said, you tell me there's a big quid in this. How about you come and show me how that works? Well, so, okay. Now, we'd set the goal. We know what our goal is. So Corinne and I go to Warwick-Nabil. There was 3 new people there. So far, only 2 of the 3 have got in, but the third one's getting in this week. The first one that got in, he's already sponsored 1, and he'll sponsor another one tonight. So he sponsored 1 in Melbourne, he'll sponsor 1 in Canada, and then he's got another one in Melbourne to do on the weekend. Now, where's all this coming from? I don't know these people. They're total strangers. A lot of us are waiting for our family and friends to come on board. Don't wait. You might wait a long time. You may want that for them. You may want them to really participate with you and get in there and build a big business and be free. Guess what? Not yet. Maybe later, but not yet. Right? Let me show you something. Oops, hang on. Wrong thing. What I want to do is I want to point something out to you. Trevor also just put up a video clip, I think it was today, about the 351 people that walked across stage at the function in America. Has anybody seen that yet? Yep, okay. Think about this, 351 people making between 100,000 and 3.5 million, and 24 of them are making over $1 million a year. None of them any smarter than you, none of them any better than you, none of them got a better circumstance than you, because everybody's carrying their own bag, I can tell you. Everybody's got their own excuses and reasons why not to, and those same excuses and reasons why not to can be turned around for the reasons why to. Now, there is 24 people over there making over $1 million a year. Plus I think there's 6 over here, 6 or 8 over here. Yep, okay. So we're going to call it 30 people making over $1 million a year. And I want you to have a look around the place where you work. How many of the employees are making over $1 million a year? Because you've got the same opportunity those other employees have. You've got the same opportunity perhaps that your boss has got. Or maybe not. Maybe you need a few dollars to buy into that position. Maybe you need to invest in the company. Maybe there's a ceiling there for the club. I don't know. But I can tell you this, you've got the same opportunity everybody else has got here, and here's how it's going to work. This is not rocket science. Building a network is as simple as it really, really is. It is so simple. The average number of presentations per month, 2. That's 1 a fortnight, right? The sponsoring rate, 1 in how many get in? 1 in 4. Okay, so think about this. You'd have to work for 2 months to sponsor 1 person, right? And 10% of them are going to do what you do. So 24 months, you'd only have 22 people in there. I guarantee you, London to a brick, you're not getting rich. Right? Not getting rich. Let's up the ante a little bit. Let's go 1 a week. 1 plan a week. Again, 1 in 4 is getting in, so each week you're sponsoring somebody. Whoops, that changed. Let's go back here to 2. Look at the 2-year mark. 22. We double the amount of work. You'd think that should go to 44, right? Goes to 81, it almost quadruples. But you only doubled your workload, right? Now we're going to take that up to 6 plans a month. Still only 1 in 4 getting in. Now it's 240. But I can tell you this, it's not 1 in 4 that get in when you show them the business. If you were doing 6 presentations a month properly to qualified prospects, your sponsoring rate would be about 50%. 1 in 10 would be doing, like 90% of your group's doing nothing. You'd have 4,000 people in there. We're going to change this to 9. Oops, wrong way, sorry, 11. All right. Do you think your financial situation might be different 2 years from now? 6,000 people in there. You see, there's only, this bit here is the only one that you've got any control over, right? So you've got total control over whether you're doing 2 plans a week. Oh, 2 plans a week, and now you've got basically 40,000 people in your business. 40,000 people. You see, the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more people you'll sponsor, and the more people that can see how duplicatable this is, they become active as well, right? So in doing that, you've just got to work on this, right? You just got to keep it going, guys. It's up to you. This is yours. Whether you're doing 2, right? 2 a week. We used to do, if you were serious about building the business back in the old days, you had to do 15 plans a month. That rocks it. All of Australia is now in, right? Now, if we take that back to 4, 1 in 4 getting in, 42,000, right? It halves. Okay, 1 in 3 getting in. That could be your business. Do you know why? You're not stuck here in Australia. You know, like, we got people everywhere, right? Absolutely everywhere. You can sponsor people in America, in Canada, in Mexico, in Malaysia, Indonesia. You can sponsor people now in the UK. Half of us, half of the UK is filled up with Australians now, they reckon. But anyway, you can go anywhere with this thing. What we've got is we need a paradigm shift. We need a paradigm shift. What if I told you that 5 years from now, you get to watch 2 videos? 2 videos. One is a video of you continuing along the path that you're already on, doing the amount of plans and contacts that you're currently doing because of the circumstances that you feel you're under, and you can see your life. That's your 5-year video. And we get down and you're pretty much not much further along than where we currently are. Or you could watch the second video. What if we got some real courage? What if we got the passion of the heart? Let's have a little listen to Tim Foley once again and see what Tim Foley has to say. All right, let's do this. Where's my man Tim? Where are you, Tim? You're up here. Oh, hang on. Got to move that, get that there, do that.
Think about it. It's the message from the heart that fuels the imagination as we create our vision of what lies ahead, of what we can change, of what we can be. It's the message from the heart that draws us out of our spectator's chair. A throne in life that far too many of us have occupied for far too long. The spectator's chair. It is the place, our point of reference from which we have either applauded or criticized the people that are actually making things happen in life, the true performers. While we comfortably suck on our Pepsi and munch on our hot dog and analyze the performance and complain about the weather and revel in the company of the vast majority on our planet who only care enough about anything to simply have an opinion. If we really care about something, our opinions will lead us to action. So it is the message from the heart that draws us out of our spectator's chair and down onto the playing field of life where things are made to happen, where you can actually make a difference, where your opinion is inconsequential, but where your performance is vital. Out of your chair and down onto the field, it's where the sweat lives. It's a place where there are no guarantees, except that you will be guaranteed to be criticized by the spectators. It is a place where conviction of the heart is essential for survival. It is a place where self-respect and purpose and fulfillment can be found. It is in the message from the heart that God whispers to us, if we will only listen, about what he can see for us, about the mountains we can climb, all of us, the lives we can affect, the history we can create.
It is in the message of the heart. Guys, we are going to, as an organization, FSI, we are going to change the face of Isagenix. And as I said earlier, Tim Foley came from a team of no-name players. These players had not done anything of any greatness whatsoever. Individually, they were not good players, but as a team, they fitted together, they synchronized, they worked together, and they became an absolute machine. As individuals, you and I may not be too flash. We've all got our own individual strengths, and when we synergize that together, we pool those strengths, we work off each other. Then, as a team, as a big machine, we will move forward. We will absolutely roll all over the world. The vision, if you would allow yourself to have a vision of the story you could tell from the place you've come from, what you've had to overcome to reach what you reach, how many people would you inspire and change their lives by being in a position, having a platform to tell that story to? Everybody needs to hear your story. Everybody needs to hear your story. But until you do enough to earn the credibility to stand on the stage to tell the story, so as people have a reason why to listen because of the results you've created, the story will go untold. The story will go untold. Isagenix make brilliant, brilliant products. Isagenix pay really, really, really good bonuses but they do not build organizations. You and I, we build the distribution channels that Isagenix shift their stuff through. And the more channels that you can create for Isagenix to ship their stuff to, the more they're prepared to pay you for the work you've done. You don't have many channels, you won't get much money. You have an enormous amount of channels, you'll have an enormous amount of money. With that money comes lifestyle. I missed a car this week. I was a little bit disappointed. Imagine a nice Audi, an A610, an Audi A6 with the same motor in it, V10, that the Lamborghini Gallardo's got in it. Nice car, right? Very nice car. Only done 70,000 Ks. And I was busy not following the auction, and it went off for 24 grand. Like, serious? Second-hand Commodore cost that much. V10 Audi. What sort of car would you buy if you could? Where would you live if you could? Where would you get your clothes made if you could? Where would you send your kids to school if you could? What time would you choose to wake up if you were allowed? Oh, man. Unreal. What we have to understand is that what these other people have done, the Jim Dornans of the world and the Tim Foleys of the world and the Jimmy Smiths of the world, is nothing in comparison to what's available to you, what's possible. Right? Anything is possible. And remember this, your thoughts and your words, once you think them and once you speak them, do not fall backwards into your past. They project forward to create your physical future. Mind what you're thinking, mind what you're saying, because that's what you will bring into your life. What would you like to bring into your life? This is going to be one wild ride, guys. We may be a team of no particular good players. We may not have too many champions on our side. But I think if we got ourselves a little more tuned in, we could create an unstoppable force. Fear will always be there, although we do have some tools to overcome some fears, right? So therefore, fear will not be the obstacle. The lack of imagination and stifling the passion of your heart. Dare to imagine big, 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 huge, audacious goals, dreams that just you don't dare tell your mates about, because they would find the people with those tight-fitting white jackets. Right? And dare to believe just for a few minutes that it's possible. And all you've got to do is just ask. Ask. Ask, and it will be given to you, as long as you truly desire it. Not need it, desire it. Seek, go look, and you will find it. Or it will actually find you. And if we don't knock, that door can never open. Guys, I just want you to know this. I want you to listen to Jim and Nancy Dornan's thing that Trevor put up there. I'm going to put up this Tim Foley thing in the next couple of days. I want you to listen to that over and over again. And all right, he's talking about Amway. Who cares? It's a network. The principles don't change. The fundamentals have never changed. And the fundamentals of building a network never will change from day one to day end. It never will. Why? We're dealing with humans. We're dealing with emotions and we're dealing with thoughts. And that's it. Once we learn how to be the best we can be and become the sort of people that other people choose to follow on a voluntary basis, we can build whatever we want to build. This team, we can make this thing hum. People will sit there and go, what the heck happened? We changed the message to the heart. We get a little bit passionate about it. Don't take any crap from anybody. This is the path I'm taking. This is where I'm going. Get in, get out, or get out of the road because I'll roll right over the top of you. Don't try and stop me. Don't try and talk me out of it. Either get in or get out of the road. Take your pick. Either way, I'm fine. If people don't want to get in, not a problem. People want to get in, come for the ride. Let's go. People want to try and push me off track. That I got a problem with. All right. So I'm just going to stop recording.